Good afternoon. Today's video presentation was for the assignment unit corporate accounting. The main part of this assignment video is about the tasks and key findings that we got for the individual assignment. So part A of this assignment is about that part speaks about what a job seeker would require as a corporate accountant. So it's basically about what the employers want in a corporate accountant position holder. So from based off our research, we found out that there are four key tasks and key roles that an employer wants from an corporate accountant. So there are four categories they want is based on the financial reporting tasks, the payroll tasks, the tax related tasks, some invoices related tasks, and some budgeting tasks. So if we have a look at the financial accounting tasks that they require from an corporate accounting, it's mostly about the reporting of the and it's about reporting and it's the presentation and preparation of financial accounting based on the ASB standards and the corporate legislations. The tasks that they require are the preparation of those company statements, whether it's a group or a consolidated statement, and also the monthly analysis. They also want the day-to-day management of those accounting transactions. The main task that they require is the reconciliation and closing of all relevant balance sheet accounts and timely posting of those adjustments and journal corrections. They also require the fixed asset reporting, including their disposal, depreciation, and all of their calculation, properly preparing and reviewing and analyzing movements in those accounts. Another task of and corporate accounting is to complete the annual financial statement to review and submit to the auditors so they can audit. And also it's about the analysis of the balance sheet using the variance analysis. They also need to manage the account codes for their jobs as well. So these are mainly the financial accounting tasks that the corporate accountant must do. And if we go to the second type of tasks that the required are the tax related tasks. They have to ensure that the company reports are accurate and they have the statutory and ATO regulation obligations are met on those reports. So based on the BAS, the payroll tax, the superannuation and corporate tax, they are calculated and presented correctly and accurately. The corporate accounting must also prepare the tax returns, the BAS, the IAS, the GST, and a PAYG work, so that can be submitted to the ATO and the company is up to date with their tax system. In the budgeting area, the corporate accounting is obliged to do the annual budgeting process and also do the monthly forecasts of those budgets. They also need to do some variance analysis in order to get success in their roles. The invoicing tasks include preparing monthly invoices and make sure that they are prepared timely and in an accurate manner. And it's also important to properly recognize individual customer invoicing and what they require, and it's properly created and maintained. In the payroll tasks, the corporate accountant must create manage all payroll activities, including employee benefits, superannuation, and other general administrative duties related to the payroll services. They have to manage that and properly reconcile and report in the system. In the next part of part A, we need to make sure that which roles are aligned to the unit that we are learning. So majority of the roles required by an employer are mostly covered in our unit, including mostly the financial accounting related tasks like preparation and presentation of financial reporting and reviewing, ensuring the tax. And we also learn the GST and the income tax system in our unit. So the topics missing from our unit was mainly the payroll and the invoicing that I thought maybe we could learn more on that in our units, so that can be included. And the evaluation of why the evaluation of the evaluating those roles, I think majority of those roles that were listed in the job search that I found out were mostly covered in our unit, especially related to the financial accounting area, which a corporate accountant must met. So they all were in our unit and that were covered properly, and we have learned them quite well. In the second part, the part B of the assignment requires us to find a annual report of a group and describe that report. So I have used the Coles Group annual report for year 2020 for this part of my assignment. In question 6, we have to ask what's the equity consist of. So the group equity consists of the contributed equity, the reserves, and the retained earnings. So the contributed equity of the group are the fully paid ordinary shares that were listed in the balance sheet. Over the 2 years from June 2018 to June 2020, the contributed equity fell slightly, which can be seen in their balance sheet. The reserves, on the other hand, includes the share-based payment reserves and the cash flow hedge reserves. The reserves overall rose for the years with the major change in the cash flow hedge reserve, which fell due to the revaluation loss in the cash flow hedge reserve. The retained earnings showed there is an increase in the net profit over the period, so the overall retained earnings increased, and there were also some dividends paid to the shareholders and also some distributions made to Wesfarmers, which are one of the group members of Coles. In question 7, we have to explain the liabilities of the group. So the liabilities of the group are the trade and other payables, the provisions, the interest-bearing liabilities, and so on. So the trade and other payables were their account payables and also some other investor-related payables that were investment-related payables that were recorded in the balance sheet. The trade and other payables overall increased over the 2 years, which can be seen well both in the current liabilities and non-current liabilities. The provisions include both current and non-current liabilities, and the types of provision the group have is the employee benefits, the restructuring provisions, the self-insurance provisions liability, and the lease provisions. The overall provisions rose over the 2 years. It's mainly because of the rise in the employee benefit provisions that they have over those period. The third type of liability they have in their balance sheet is the interest-bearing liabilities. They are mainly the bank debts and the capital debts that they have. And we can see that there has been a significant fall on those liabilities during those 2 years. In question 8, we have to explain what are the items reported in the other comprehensive income statement of the group. So the items reported were the net movement in the fair value of cash flow hedges and their associated income tax effect. Well, those income tax effects are the deferred income tax charged to the net loss of the revaluation of cash flow hedges. So there was a loss reported on those other comprehensive income statement. In question 9, we have to explain the revaluation loss on cash flow hedges. It was recognized in the comprehensive income statement rather than in the profit and loss because the revaluation loss is yet to be realized. So question 10 and question 11 is mainly about including those other comprehensive income. The question 10 mainly tells about how well is the profit should be there if it was recorded, if the OCI was recorded in the profit and loss statement. If that was there, if it was recorded, then the attributable income to the equity holders of the parent entity will reduce by 12 million if that OCI was to include in the profit and loss account. So in question 11, the last question, we have to explain that whether the OCI, the other comprehensive income, should be included in evaluating managers' performance. So I think that should be included in the evaluation of managers' performance, because it includes the all unrealized gains and losses that the group is having. So they must also be considered, because it shows how the company is actually working in their investment related returns. So that's a good thing to be known as an analysis to the company. So we should include that. And thank you.